Welcome, you curious mind, to another deep dive. Today we're zeroing in on a truly pivotal piece of the blockchain landscape, often called, well, the missing link, Chainlink. We've poured through articles, research papers, lots of notes, really, to understand Chainlink's core purpose, its technical solutions, and, its actual impact out there. Our mission today is to cut through the jargon and show you exactly how this technology acts as the essential eyes and ears for smart contracts, making them truly smart.
Exactly. And that's crucial because we're tackling a fundamental challenge, what's often called blockchain isolation.
Hmm.
Secure blockchains are, by their very design, cut off from external real-world data.
Right.
So without a bridge like Chainlink, smart contracts would basically be blind to everything happening outside their own network. It really limits what they can do.
Okay, so let's start right there then. This blockchain isolation, what exactly is it and why does it matter so much for smart contracts?
Well, think of a blockchain like a super secure self-contained vault. It's fantastic for storing transactions immutably, permanently. But it just can't natively reach outside its own walls to get information.
Okay.
And smart contracts, which are these self-executing agreements written in code on these blockchains, are incredibly powerful, but they're limited. They can only use data that's already on chain.
So they can't check the weather or stock prices or sports scores on their own?
Nope, not directly. Their security comes from being closed off, essentially.
Right. That makes sense. So here's where it gets really interesting, I think. That's where these things called oracles come in.
Precisely. Oracles are the third-party services that act as that connection. Yeah. They bridge the gap, feeding blockchains that external real-world data.
Ah.
Without them, smart contracts just couldn't react to anything happening off-chain.
So they'd be pretty limited.
Very limited.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating here is how Chainlink provides this critical infrastructure. It's not just an Oracle service. It's a secure, tamper-proof, and crucially decentralized Oracle network.
Right.
It acts as that vital bridge between the on-chain world of smart contracts and all the off-chain information they desperately need.
Now, decentralized, that's a key word there. Why is it so important that Chainlink's Oracle system isn't just run by, say, one company?
That brings up a really core question. If these smart contracts are relying on outside data, how can you possibly trust that data source?
Yeah, good point.
A single centralized oracle would be what we call a single point of failure. It's vulnerable to manipulation or hacking, or maybe it just has technical problems and goes offline.
And if that happens?
If that one source is compromised or fails, the smart contract relying on it could malfunction completely. Think about DeFi billions could be at risk.
Wow, okay.
So Chainlink solves this by using a decentralized network. This means many independent, geographically diverse node operators are involved.
Right.
These operators all fetch, validate, and deliver the off-chain data. They have to reach a consensus.
So it's kind of like a crowdsourced truth-telling mechanism then. Multiple independent sources checking the facts.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. The more nodes involved, the greater the trust and the higher the resistance to manipulation. This is absolutely essential for high-stakes applications like in finance, where accuracy is paramount.
Billions of dollars on the line, you mentioned.
Exactly. It ensures data accuracy and tamper-proof delivery.
Okay, but how does Chainlink make sure these independent nodes actually play fair? What stops one from submitting bad data?
That's where the crypto economics come in. The network incentivizes honest behavior and actively penalizes dishonest actions. This happens through the link token and a process called staking.
Staking, right. We'll get more into that, but the basic idea.
The basic idea is that node operators have to lock up or stake their own link tokens as collateral. If they misbehave, if they try to provide faulty data or go offline when they shouldn't, their stake tokens can be slashed.
Slashed, meaning they lose them.
Yes, they can lose a portion or potentially all of their stake tokens. It's a significant economic penalty. This creates a very strong incentive to be reliable and honest. It aligns their financial interests with the health of the network.
That's clever, a built-in enforcement mechanism using economics. Okay, let's talk about where we actually see Chainlink making a difference. What are some of its biggest real-world use cases?
Well, probably one of the most important and widely adopted applications is its price feeds. These provide really accurate, aggregated, up-to-date prices for cryptocurrencies, stocks, commodities, forex, all sorts of assets.
And these are used heavily in DeFi.
Absolutely crucial for decentralized finance.
Mm.
Billions, truly billions of dollars locked in smart contracts rely on Chainlink's price data to function safely. We're talking currently over $60 billion in total value secured.
60 billion, wow.
Yeah, across more than 700 price feeds covering all sorts of assets. across, I think, 13 different blockchain networks now. Major protocols you might have heard of, like the Synthetics, Compound, they all rely heavily on these feeds for things like lending, borrowing, derivatives trading.
So it's foundational for a huge chunk of DeFi.
It really is. It helps prevent things like flash loan attacks and manipulation that could happen with less robust data sources.
Okay, that's huge in finance. But you also mentioned it helps bring programmability to the real world, so it's not just about crypto prices, right?
Correct. Chainlink's utility goes way beyond DeFi. For example, think about insurance. You can have smart contracts for parametric insurance,
Parametric.
meaning it pays out automatically based on a measurable event. So say a policy pays out if rainfall in a specific area, measured by trusted sensors seeding data via Chainlink, falls below a certain level. No need for claims adjusters or paperwork. The contract just executes based on the data.
Interesting. Automating insurance claims based on real-world data.
Exactly. It's also used heavily in gaming for fair, unbiased outcomes. Think random number generation for loot boxes or lotteries. NFT minting, making sure the distribution is fair. Even sports betting markets, settling based on verified real-world scores delivered via Chainlink.
And you mentioned industrial uses too, like IoT.
Yes, precisely. It can integrate with Internet of Things sensor data. Imagine tracking a sensitive shipment, like pharmaceuticals. Chainlink can feed data about temperature, location, handling directly to a blockchain, creating an immutable, trustworthy record for the entire supply chain.
So it really does enable smart contracts to respond to all kinds of diverse real-world events. Fascinating.
It truly does.
Okay, so Chainlink gives smart contracts these eyes and ears, but it also offers other capabilities, other services that make them even more powerful.
It does. Beyond the core data feeds, Chainlink has built out a suite of services that really enhance what smart contracts can achieve. Well, first, there's Chainlink VRF, which stands for Verifiable Random Function. This provides provably fair and cryptographically secure random numbers for blockchain applications.
Ah, the random numbers for gaming and NFTs you mentioned.
Exactly. It's crucial for anything needing unbiased randomness that can be publicly verified on-chain. It eliminates accusations of rigging.
So no more the house always wins because of skewed randomness.
Well, the randomness part is provably fair, at least. Then there's Chainlink automation. This is really powerful. It allows smart contracts to trigger themselves automatically,
How so?
based on predefined schedules like run this check every hour, or when specific conditions verified by Chainlink or already on-chain are met. Think of it like cron jobs, automated task scheduling, but for the blockchain, and done in a decentralized, reliable way.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit. So Chainlink not only brings the outside world in, but with automation, it helps smart contracts act on time or when specific things happen without needing someone to manually poke them.
You got it. It removes a lot of manual steps and points of centralization that were needed before. It makes smart contracts truly autonomous in many cases.
That sounds like a really powerful combination.
Absolutely. And then perhaps most recently, and arguably one of the most ambitious services, is the Cross-Chain Interoperability Protocol, or CCIP.
CCIP, okay, what does that do?
This is a new, highly secure standard that enables different blockchains, which are normally like isolated islands, to actually communicate and interact with each other.
Whoa.
Yeah, it facilitates things like securely transferring assets or sending messages and data between completely different chains, like moving funds from Ethereum to Avalanche, for example.
So what does this mean bigger picture? It's basically breaking down the walls between all these different blockchain networks.
Exactly. It's a huge step toward what people call a unified multi-chain future. It unlocks amazing possibilities for building applications that can leverage the strengths of multiple blockchains simultaneously. Think about building something that uses Solana for speed, Ethereum for security, and maybe Arweave for storage to CCIP aims to make that kind of cross-chain composability possible and secure.
And you mentioned proof of reserve as well.
Right. Proof of reserve is another key service. It allows for automated on-chain auditing of reserves backing assets, like stablecoins or even wrapped tokens. Instead of waiting for a quarterly audit report, you can have near real-time verification powered by Chainlink oracles that the collateral actually exists off-chain. It brings a new level of transparency.
Plus tools for developers, you said?
Oh, definitely. APIs, SDKs, software development kits, basically toolkits that make it much easier for developers to actually integrate all these Chainlink services into their own applications. That's crucial for growing the ecosystem.
That is an incredible range of tools, randomness, automation, cross-chain communication, proof of reserves. It really expands the scope of smart contracts. But let's circle back to the engine powering all this. We've mentioned the Link token a few times. What's its specific role? How does it make the network tick?
Right, the Link token is absolutely integral to how the Chainlink network operates and stays secure. Its primary function is as the payment method. Smart contracts or users who need data or services pay the Chainlink node operators in Link tokens for their work.
Okay, so it's the network's currency.
It is. But beyond just payment, Link is crucial for the network's security through that staking mechanism we talked about.
Right, the collateral.
Exactly. Node operators and now even other Link holders through community staking can lock up their Link tokens as collateral. This backs the performance guarantees of the Oracle services.
And by staking, they earn rewards, but they also have that risk, the slashing, if they mess up.
Precisely. Staking incentivizes honest data delivery and reliable service. That potential penalty, losing their staked Link, creates a very strong financial disincentive against trying to cheat the system or just being unreliable. It aligns everyone's economic incentives towards keeping the network secure and performing well.
Makes sense. Does it have other rules?
Yes, it also enables service access, where holding or paying Link might be required to access certain premium data feeds or services like VRF. And increasingly, it's involved in community governance, allowing Link token holders to participate in decisions about the future development and parameters of the network.
So it's payment, security collateral, service access, and governance.
Right.
Pretty cool.
Very central to the whole economic design.
Okay, so wrapping this up then. For you, the listener, putting this all together, why should we really care about Chainlink? What's the big takeaway?
I think the key takeaway is that Chainlink is widely considered the essential Oracle layer for the blockchain space. It provides that absolutely critical infrastructure connecting these isolated blockchains to all the data and systems existing in the real world off-chain.
Right.
Without Chainlink's secure, reliable, and decentralized data feeds, plus tools like VRF and automation, smart contracts would be incredibly limited. They'd be stuck in their vaults, essentially making them dumb contracts, unable to react intelligently to the world around them.
So it really does sound like Chainlink is the indispensable glue, maybe, connecting blockchains to reality, enabling everything from huge DeFi markets to automated insurance payouts, fair gaming, even tracking goods across the globe.
It really is foundational.
Right.
And as blockchain adoption continues to grow and we're seeing it expand into more and more industries, the demand for reliable, real-world data and off-chain computation for smart contracts is only going to increase.
Makes sense.
Chainlink's role as this essential bridge, this enabling layer between the on-chain and off-chain worlds, just becomes increasingly vital. It's key to unlocking the full, truly transformative potential of smart contracts and blockchain technology as a whole.
That really frames Chainlink not just as some niche tech component, but as a fundamental building block for, well, a potentially much smarter, more connected digital future. So for you, the learner, maybe the next time you hear about a smart contract doing something seemingly magical based on real-world events or data, ask yourself, how did it know that? There's a very good chance the answer involves Chainlink.
Indeed. And maybe take it a step further. Consider how this ability to reliably connect blockchains to real-world data, and even connect different blockchains together, might transform industries we haven't even fully thought of yet. It goes way beyond just finance and gaming. What other smart possibilities could Chainlink unlock in aspects of your own daily life or in the wider economy just by making digital agreements aware of and reactive to the physical world?